Hello and welcome to another edition of the One Team We Agree On. I'm Jillian.
I'm Kyle. How are you doing today?
I'm okay.
Yeah, it's kind of been one of those weekends, up and down weekend. Lots of emotions.
It was.
It
It
was.
was.
And yeah, we're going to discuss all that. And if you're listening, I'm sure you're feeling a lot of emotions as well after this weekend as well.
Yes.
So on today's show, we're going to start off about the union
Hmm.
timely announcement of premium seating.
Yes.
Yeah, that
I have
was.
thoughts.
I know you have thoughts. We're going to talk about the end of the Union's season after a very disappointing loss to an end of a very disappointing season. But we have some good news.
Yes, we do.
Union 2 won,
Yes, they did.
and they move on in the MLS Next Pro playoffs. So we're going to talk about the game. We're also going to talk about their next opponent, Crown Legacy FC, on today's show. But before we get started, what are we wearing?
I am wearing the V-neck black Union ladies shirt that I got at the team store. Um, Gosh, it all blends together. Did I get that at the beginning of this season or I get last season? I forget, honestly.
Are you in mourning?
I'm in mourning. Yeah, I'm wearing black because I'm in mourning for a season. No, I actually just like wearing black though. So
Yeah. Let's see. What are you in season? I mean, still
Union two still are going.
you got, and I'm
Yeah.
wearing the Lerner, dupe shirt. We were only there once this year.
Yeah.
Now with Union
It
Yard,
wasn't even like a game day. Well, it was a Union 2
big
game
game
day.
day post match.
Yeah.
Fun story about that, but well, that's for another time. But
Yeah.
yeah, before we get started, where can people find us?
All right. So you can find us on social media on Twitter, X at TOTWAG, on Facebook and Instagram at the One Team We Agree On. Also, we have our YouTube channel, which if you're watching this, that's where you're probably finding this.
Mhm.
Um, the One Team We Agree On. And then we have our website, the One Team We Agree On.com. And you can also follow me on TikTok at Jillian_Almany.
So let's dive into it. So, very first topic, I believe that was on Friday. Um, Thursday or Friday this past week, our friend Jose Nunez was, I guess, digging into the website and found that, something he had dropped about the union doing premium seating and coming up. So they kind of shared some other things. So, yeah, they're gonna have three new premium sites. Was it 2010 North, which is
They're gonna have premium seats at the scoreboard end down
yeah,
near the field.
that's 210 North.
And then they're gonna have up on, is it the seaport
Yep.
deck where they're basically it's like a shipping container kind of that's gonna be plopped up there and made
Yeah.
into a space.
Yeah, and they're gonna have stuff up there, and that's
And most controversially,
the Commodore, which is basically right below the river end where those seats are now for photographers and fans and
like, yeah.
where the banners hang and everything. So that was kind of the most one because the 210 North, I was like, those are nice. I get it.
Yeah.
A nice little area. Seaport's just more suites. Okay, whatever. Um, but that was the most. But
Mhm.
before we get into that rant,
Oh yeah, because you know I have thoughts.
and we talked to people during the tailgate about it
Yes,
too.
yes.
The timing and the optics for the way this season has gone, and we talked to some people who said this. We get the premium seating. I mean, a lot of teams do that. It's
Yeah.
whatever. But the optics of, oh yeah, we're going to make a break year. But hey, look at this, guys. We're doing premium seating. It's like now,
The
okay, like what are we doing? And this is not just this. There has been times during dry spells. Hey, renew your season tickets. I don't know if, and I'm sure it's some sort of marketing person, but somebody at the front office needs to just have a little bit more self-awareness.
yeah, the optics are really bad.
Yeah.
So the fact that all this came out right before decision day and just it looks so poor. I mean, first of all, you're gonna put those premium seats right in front of the river end. We heard a lot of comments about that.
Mhm.
and it's just so tone deaf. Like, here the union, like, people are like, why the heck are we focusing on premium seats? Fix the freaking bathrooms, or, fix the concourse, or, do safe standing, or fix the parking lots,
Or invest in the
or
team.
invest. And the biggest one, of course, is, yeah, invest in the team. Okay, spend money on the team. Now, I get they want to sell these premium seats to make more money to maybe then invest in the team,
But will they invest in the
but
team?
that's the thing, will they?
Yes.
That's the $1,000,000 question. So this is why people are so frustrated, and just the timing of it was real bad. Like, if they would have maybe waited till, the off season began, maybe it wouldn't look quite as horrible, but
Or even in the New Year's season ramped up, like,
yeah.
"Hey, guess what we did during the off season?" Although that probably still wouldn't have helped.
I mean, I don't think it would be well received anytime, but it just seemed really weird when it's like, no, let's focus on getting hyped up for decision day, but
Yeah. And the other thing is after this season, I'm curious, and again, maybe I'm speculating a little bit here. What's the demand?
yeah, that's the thing. I'm like, okay, these are like $5,000 a seat.
That's not cheap.
Yeah, who's paying for that?
I mean, rich people,
There'll be
obviously.
rich people for sure, but like, what's going to be the demand for it?
Well, and that's just the case. I mean, is it going to be like the tariff suites? Is it going to be another thing that we saw all year where it's like, come on, get a sweet deal? Because we know they've been having problems with those suites at times,
Mm-hmm.
selling those suites. So, what are we going to now have more empty suites just sitting there? I don't know. I'm again
Yeah.
speculating, but it's an interesting move. And a couple other discussions we have was, okay, what about the smoke? We saw people
Yeah.
talking about the smoke. What about the cursing?
Oh my gosh, yes.
Yeah, but here's the other thing. What about during warm-ups? It's a
Warm
shooting
ups.
drill.
Yeah.
And we were all saying this. What about the safety concerns? Like, now,
Yeah.
I get if you're down there, you're gonna be kind of doing this, but you're gonna be aware, obviously, you hope, but there's certain things, and then you're knocking off a whole entrance to the river end with, I guess you're gonna put that bar there. So I don't know. It's just like a lot of things. I mean, I saw somebody say, you're gonna have
Yeah.
two
Where's
bar.
that bar going?
Yeah, that's my question. Where are we putting that? Are we gonna put it under the river end? So now it's just a weird
I'm just,
dynamic.
yeah, it is. And, you know, what I wouldn't mind is, yeah, a party deck for the people that are in the river end up on top, right behind, how there was originally supposed to be something like that. That'd be fun.
Yeah.
But no, it's really frustrating that I feel like their priorities are not where they should be. I mean, I get they feel the need to sell premium seating, and that's whatever, but okay, let's focus on some of the other things for sure. Um, and for me, it's like those premium seats in front of the supporter section though, it just, are you kidding me? When you could have maybe enhanced the supporter section, you know? And you get, in this example, it was, I heard similar things from several people, but it's like, okay, you get these people that are, let's say Miami's in town. You get these rich people, or that they just want to go and see Messi play, and they have no clue about any of this stuff, and they're there, and whatever. It's like, is that what we want? And they're like offended by, maybe they get offended by all the smoke and the cursing and all that stuff going on there too. It's like, really, it just, I know it's funny because one of our friends was like, "Oh, we'll just send so and so down," you know, we'll send one of our buddies from our section down there who,
Yeah.
um, is
But
something. But like, yeah, I don't know. It's just, we wouldn't want to see the river being told to, tone it down, or for them to put a net up behind there either.
right. I mean, I'll be curious to see how this turns out, but it's just a weird optic when you have
Yeah.
so many other things you can prioritize. Now, I get about the seaport, I get about the North End
I have
seating.
no problem with them doing
No,
the
no
other
one
ones. It's
does.
the ones in front of the supporter section, I think,
Yeah,
No,
I
I'm
mean,
not a
and
fan of it.
banners, I mean, what are you gonna do about the banners? I
Yeah.
mean
Is this gonna, like, get in the way of yeah, the banners, that's a big part of the supporter section.
I mean, I'm sure more details are gonna come out about
Mhm.
this, and I'm sure we're gonna be due.
Yeah.
But, hey, we'd like to hear your thoughts on this because it's just a weird situation with that it's like again, it goes back to the optics. I mean, really, like, way to get excited about a team, and, of course, I went and then on the website and looked, and it's buried, so it's not like yeah, so credit to those that went digging and found it because, I mean, I was looking today at it. I mean, do they look nice? Sure, they
Yeah.
look nice, but again, it goes back to
Yeah.
where are the priorities of the club? And again, there's other things we can be dealing with, but that's just my take. That's your
Yeah.
take.
I feel like just some simple things to enhance the fan experience too, like, let people bring in an unopened bottle of water for
Right?
Christ's sake. Like, let them bring in an open bottle of water and when it's not a heat advisory. Like,
Yeah,
seriously, just how hard is that? If the Phillies can do it, heck, they let you bring in food. Okay, now I get they're trying to make money on concessions, or whatever, but a lot of water bottles. Okay,
yeah.
sheesh. But it's just little things like they could really do to enhance the experience. I know a lot of people complain about the bathrooms. You know,
Mhm.
things to be done there. So I don't know. It's just yeah, like you said, the optics.
The optics. Speaking of optics, let's talk about the match between FC Cincinnati and Philadelphia Union.
We've come full circle, folks.
We really, really
Mm,
freaking have, and
yes.
it's like I wouldn't say it's rock bottom, but it's been a very disappointing season. And
Oh my goodness, what a season of highs and lows.
now we're not going to get into our season review match
You
and
know,
prediction.
because
Yes.
we got lots of content in the off season.
Yeah, and that's going to be another episode for another time coming up, probably. But let's first talk about the pints. What was it?
The Pints for
Called
Pets.
the Pints for Pets, and then the
Yes.
Sons of Ben tailgate. So we got there earlier. Just wanted to check it out, hang out with some friends,
Yeah.
had some great conversations. It was a nice day, beautiful
It
day.
was a beautiful day for once. Wonderful temperature, sunny. We're like, it's like, is this actually a Union game day? How nice it was,
Yeah,
especially being in October. When you think about how long the season is and start of the season freezing our butts off,
yeah,
and sometimes by the end of the season it gets a little chilly, but no, it was wonderful out. And so Sons of Ben, they been doing a Pines for Pets thing last year. They did it at 2SP, right?
right. And that was
And
a wonderful
yeah,
event.
it was fun, and I got those, signed Kai cleats at that. Um,
And I think a dog took a dump on the floor. That was
well,
the
these things
highlight.
happen,
Now,
yeah.
I
No,
was terrified.
but no, it was a nice event. So they kind of combined it into their last tailgate, so they did a special tailgate, and so they just increased the price of the tailgate a bit and had that as a donation for
And
that.
that's cool.
Yeah, and they had some raffle items and an awesome quilt, done by Ryan Bross and Kelsey Luckenbach,
Yeah.
really impressed. Like, I teach sewing and stuff, but I can't do anything. I'm not nearly as good as
I
all
want to
that.
know where I want to know where Ross gets
Mm.
his sewing skills because they are impressive.
Yeah, I mean, Kelsey's really good at that too, like, with
So,
them. So,
yeah,
shout out to them, but, like, the quilt looked fantastic, and, so they're raffling that off, and actually, they were extending the raffle, we're seeing raffle tickets to Wednesday. So when you're listening to this, if you're listening on Wednesday, I think it's your last chance. But yeah, so I thought it looked fantastic. Good cause. We're strong advocates for animal welfare causes,
correct.
having 3 rescue cats ourselves.
Hmm.
And of course, it was good to see BR.
Yeah, I like how
Um,
they had BR out there just
yeah.
hanging out.
And just an update on for those of you guys who saw the kitten that Mark Mello, the groundskeeper, had found recently. That cat actually got adopted by Kelsey's mom.
Yeah.
So it has a good home. So that's good. And found out it's a girl.
Yep.
So yeah, Brujita. It's
Yeah.
Brujita.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I thought that was nice. I thought they had some Cincinnati Skyline chili.
Yeah, some Skyline chili.
I
Shout
thought
out Mike Blankenmeyer because like he was a big part of that.
yeah,
Yeah.
and so I thought that was nice. They had the breast cancer awareness t-shirt for Sons of Ben, which is
Yep.
pink shirt with Sons of Ben logo on the front. But again, nice cause. It was a nice event. Again,
Yeah.
whenever saw the chalk talk, and then we headed in.
Yeah, but and it was a nice crowd at the tailgate, so so that was good. But yeah, the chalk talk, we had that. And yeah, we had in and so they had a giveaway.
Yeah, you want to show it?
Mhm. And of course, we always see the puppies when we walk into, so we did that too. But yeah, they had a giveaway, and actually it was a decent giveaway. They had these knit hats.
Yeah,
So, well, beanies, and has, if you're listening on the pod, um, it has the same pattern that's on their home jerseys.
yeah.
So, but yeah, that's actually like a pretty nice giveaway.
Yeah, it is. Considering, and like as the independence, I get that, but
Mhm.
they had the little snake on the front. I mean, it's a nice little beanie.
Yeah. So
So
so managed to actually get one of those before, things run out like sometimes happens.
yeah,
So, yeah, we went in and, a bunch of our crew were there. It was nice to see them, but I didn't even go in the team store this time. I was like um walked in with our friend Polo me
yeah,
and it's like, "Oh, we'll go in after the game." But then I didn't go in the team store after the game because yeah, I was in no mood to
right.
deal with that. So, anyway, so yeah, that was a little bit about the pregame there.
So yeah, I mean, let's get into the game. Let's start with the positive.
2 minutes into the game,
Quinn Sullivan
Quinn
scored.
scores, and Quinn
A great
what is
throw
yeah,
in. Nice ball into there, lays it off, hits the, just banks it in, and
what a
and
way to start.
and
Everyone's
everybody
amped.
and everybody was amped. And I thought when that started, I was like, okay, we've seen this a million times before. And Tom Bogart posted earlier, I think it was yesterday or today, unfortunately, Union led MLS in drop points at 27 from winning positions this year. Well, folks, we don't need to do the math. You know what those drop points are.
Mhm.
We had a big discussion about that, but I mean, again, go back. Quinn's had a great season.
He really has.
So that's a positive. I mean, you got to start on the right foot. You
Mhm.
come out looking great, but we've seen this play out before. And then, unfortunately, Danny gets injured. We never
Yeah,
got the
was it
update of what it
yeah,
was.
it's like 10 minutes or so in the game. Like,
Yeah, like,
it was pretty early.
and then after that, it just kind of,
Yeah, and Danley was subbed on for him.
yeah. And Danny was fine. I mean, he wasn't great, but he wasn't awful. I thought he played a fine game for getting
Yeah,
subbed on.
yeah.
Jim explained later that, the reason he didn't start and Leon did was because of, just international break and all that, which I
Yeah.
don't know if I agree with that, but
Mhm.
at the end of the day, that was the decision made. Danley comes in.
Yep.
And after that, it kind of brought me back to our discussion with Justin. If you haven't heard that episode, you can go back and listen to it.
Mhm.
Episode 106, that, the game is really going to be decided by the front three. Well, you lose Gazdag, and then all of a sudden, you had a chance by Uwa, nice through ball. Solentano kind of reads it right, can't get on it, and you're like, okay. Brebo has that chance,
Mhm.
doesn't connect, and it's like, okay, so two really good chances. You could be up 3-0. Andre made some nice
Mhm.
saves, and you're
Mhm.
just sitting here going, we've seen this play out millions and millions of times, it feels like, this
Yeah.
season. You can get a lead,
Yep.
they don't build on it like they should, and the margins are razor
The
thin,
margins are razor thin. And
and they come back to bite, and that's what we saw.
yeah, so we're in stoppage time and we're like 30 seconds past when thoughts I think it was about 30 seconds past when it seemed like stoppage time should have ended.
Right,
And we're up there like, ref, blow the bleeping whistle. Okay. Blow the
right,
whistle. Where's the whistle? And sure enough, of course, well, Union couldn't clear it and the ref was holding off on blowing the whistle.
right, because it's
And
attacking end.
yeah, although at the end of the game, that
I
didn't
know,
seem to matter.
I know.
'Cause the Union
But
were on the attacking end, but anyway, not that it was gonna probably matter at that point, but still. But anyway, of course, Union couldn't clear it there, and what happens? Cincinnati scores.
they do, and I'll say this, we've seen this enough this year where it's moments like that where it's just a lapse of, and it goes back to what Dave's saying, just uncharacteristic stuff we saw from years
Mhm.
ago.
Yeah.
Just can't clear the ball out, and again, Cincinnati's being a good team makes them pay, and you just are thinking to yourself, "Okay, that really stung." And then
Yeah.
you just look at the scores and you're like, "Okay, this is not going the way we are. We
Yeah.
need to get a win."
Mhm.
You hope they come out in the second half, and I remember saying at halftime, I'm like, again, just so many things, and I'm just shaking my head like they're not winning this game because they
Yeah.
just that goal you could tell just kind of
It
was
took
like,
the like, it just really knocked the
but
wind out of the
it's
stadium.
been it's been like that all year. It's
It
just
really has. It's like they get scored and it's like,
well, and not only that, it's just these lapses.
yeah, lapses. Like,
Yeah, they'll
seriously.
play beautiful, and then they'll have 2 or 3 lapses, and teams just destroy them. And
Yeah.
so you can come out,
Yeah.
and you're thinking, "Okay, maybe they get a goal." Nope.
No, and before you get onto that, and I was watching this, I was thinking, I really miss Jose Martinez on here.
Well, yeah,
And I feel like, remember how big he was against Cincinnati in the League's Cup game?
right.
So it's like, I feel like his presence is missing there. But
For
yeah,
sure. No, I mean, I think that's a valid, very, very fair point, and Jim
just
talks
needed him in there. I, but yeah, let's cut to the chase here with the thing.
I mean, yeah, I mean, it's the same thing. You start the season out the way you end the season out, Glesnes passes the ball back, miscommunication, the ball goes out, Andre can't get to it. And the funny thing is I went down to type something,
Hmm.
and I look up, and of course it's an own goal, and you're just sitting there going, "Oh,
Meanwhile, I'm in 136, and all of us there had a great view of it slowly trickling in there. It was like the most painful thing to watch. Um,
painful just watching it, just like the
like I
you."
could see Andre's face, like his face was just like so defeated, like he couldn't get to it, and just him watching that go in there,
Yeah, I
it
mean,
just that killed me. Like, there's been some moments with Andre, it's just killed me. Like, watching him hobble when he got hurt
mhm.
last season, and trying to make saves and stuff, seeing that, and then this was another one that's gonna stick with me. It's just like, just look at his face, like, what the heck? So that was horrible, and of course, when that happened, we're all like, "Oh my god." At that point, some of us were just letting, like, our friend Drew up there,
Yeah.
136, he's just like, "You know what? I hope that's the one." I hope that's the one, that's the other, because, we've come full circle. Everyone's just doing like, "Well, we started the season with a Jacob Glesnes own goal, and we're probably gonna end on a Jacob Glesnes own goal," and sure enough, that's what happened.
But again, it goes back to these uncharacteristic mistakes that just,
Mhm.
you know, chip balls, own goals, just blunders when they don't need to be blunders that it's not good. And then, we get into sub time and, we're bringing on Rafa, who just signed a contract. And I mean,
That was an
extension.
interesting move, like,
Well, and congratulations to him. But
yeah.
again, why is he coming in this game? What
Where's Choo Choo?
where's Choo Choo? Where like some of these attackers? You're bringing in Bedoya. It's like, okay, I get it, whatever. And again, I mean, Ale comes
Not
in.
bringing in Sam.
Well, and again, Sam had a knock.
Sam had a knock, so
But that
anything's
tells
going
you
on.
he's probably not coming back, and so you don't really bring anything in. I mean, Ua and Bariba are gassed at this point.
Yeah, I mean, those 2 played the entire game.
Yeah, and so,
I mean, you kinda had to at that point.
I mean, just there was nothing there, and whistle blew, and that was that, and, I mean, I do wanna make a comment about the River End. For as big as a game that was now, there were moments, especially at the end, they were trying
Yeah,
to
and
get
especially
it,
when they were getting corners, when you can
and
get
at the
corners.
end of the game, they were trying to get him up, so I give them that. And it wasn't like the union quit either. They were trying, but I just think it's been a season of so many compounding effects that,
Mm.
it is what it is. There wasn't the raucous like, okay, it's decision day, to support the boys. It was kind of dead in the River End.
Yeah, I, as someone who's in Sons of Ben and is in 136, I'm honestly embarrassed how crap the River End was.
It wasn't good.
It
I I,
really
ver-
wasn't.
I
It
mean,
was
as crowded
it
as it was, I
the
mean,
the chants were stale. And people were not participating enough. And for as big of the game that was supposed to be, it was really disappointing because I've been there for so many games where it is rocking. So there's a lot of stake. Now,
I've seen a lot less.
I've seen less, but I would say this, like, I feel like there needed to be more. And I don't know if it's just people were so jaded at this point.
I think that's a
And
lot.
I
I
think
mean,
that is a lot of it.
the tailgate was dead. I mean, there wasn't a lot of energy there. I mean, I think people were just kind of like, okay, they're very much apathetic on this game. I
I
think
think everyone was like kind of at this point, it's like, um, there's so much frustration with like ownership, bringing players to make a difference. And and a lot of people were kind of the attitude, well, even if the union make do squeak into the playoffs, you know, okay, we're not getting very far. And
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 that's
here's the
just
frustrating thing. Okay, we're of course everyone's score watching, and
mhm,
we're like, oh, Charlotte they're doing the job.
mhm.
Okay, all the union need to do is win, and they couldn't do that. And I go into this thinking, no, I watch the union go and win, and they won't get the help they need. But it was quite the opposite.
Right. They got the help they need, and then
Mhm.
Atlanta of all teams sneaks in and
Yep.
yeah. So
Yeah, and as of recording this, I know they were playing.
yeah, what's the
So,
update?
um, oh my, so Atlanta won on 5-4 on PKs.
Oh, so Montreal.
Yeah, it was 2-2, but then Atlanta they went to PKs. Atlanta won 5-4.
Well, so a team that
Au revoir,
really is
Montreal.
not the greatest. I mean, credit to
Yeah.
Montreal, they snuck in there, but Atlanta was not good this year, and they are now going on. So,
So they're gonna get probably trounced by Miami.
yo, dude, they're gonna get. I don't know, we'll see.
Who
I mean,
knows?
hey,
Hey, you know what? Honestly, if
no,
the let's
they are not.
you know, um we always do what if episodes like what if the Union had made it and then they had to go face Miami and have a best of three. What do you think's happen? Who knows? Who
Who
knows?
knows? But I don't think it would make a difference at this
But
point.
it'd be hilarious if Atlanta would somehow manage to beat Miami.
Yeah.
Oh,
So let's talk about one other thing before we head into you two. You know, post
yes.
match. You know,
Mm-hmm.
Jim's comments were whatever. You could
Yeah.
tell he was upset, but at the same time, really didn't do himself any. He didn't really say anything of substance. The big one was the comments by Kai Wagner, and Kai being
We love
one.
spicy Kai.
We do, and
Kai
basically,
speaks his mind. Kai's blunt.
he
You know,
basically said, league's better. We need more, um, you know, players that can make an impact and less homegrowns. Which, okay, that's
like he's like, We love our homegrowns, but we can't just rely on that." Basically,
right, and he's right. And then he talks about, after the game, people going on their phone, which again,
like they're apathetic to the fact that seasons over. Like they're just like a
and
vacation
I
time.
agree with him. I mean, and I think.
Yeah, I can see Kai being pissed about that.
I mean,
Honestly,
like he said, that loss in the cup stuck with him for weeks,
it
and
did.
I think he's upset. And then Allie brought up the fact that hey, we'll see what the future holds, but
Yeah, and by the
he
way,
could say a lot of things right now, but he was very emotional,
he
not in a
spoke for like 12 minutes to the
yeah,
reporters.
and he just basically gave his mind like, hey, look, there's things here I feel we could be better at, and
Mhm.
he told you the same thing.
Yeah,
And it's true. Um, and I think some of the players feel that way
yeah. I think with Kai too. Kai was, I think, one of the standouts of the season for
for sure.
as up and down as it was. Kai, he was busting his butt every single game. Giving his all. I think, but he was like consistently like having strong performances. And by the way, at the beginning of the game, they did honor him for his 51
Yeah,
assists. Team leading 51 assists. So that was cool moment for him. Back when I interviewed him in July, he talked about him being 2 assists away from getting the record. So but yeah, congrats to Kai. But yeah, so the LA comments, I appreciate that he spent so much time talking,
no,
first
I
of
did
all.
too.
And I wanna would you like to see Kai back next season?
You mean Allie?
I mean, LA, yeah.
Honestly, I mean, if he's gonna come on like 10 minutes here and there, sure. But if Jim's gonna start him and he's gonna be the first option. No. I mean, I hate to say it, like, yeah, at times when he's in there, he makes an impact,
Yeah,
but he shouldn't be coming in, like, so much earlier. He should be a late addition sub.
right.
I feel like and Jim's loyal to a fault,
Yeah.
and that a lot of coaches are. You go with who you trust, and
Yeah, like, he brings the
sometimes
leadership.
you sometimes you see something, I feel, in a player that was there 5 years ago that's not there anymore, and
Mhm.
I feel Jim's stuck in that because occasionally you'll see those glimpses where he'll turn back father time and have these amazing performances. And again, this year I thought he was fine. I thought he was fine for the role he played.
Mhm.
But it comes to a point where you just kind of do it. Now, would they bring him back? I don't know. I think the
Mhm.
bigger question is, and we'll talk about this in another episode, who don't they bring back? Who do they move on? Because look, let's be honest. You know, we're rolling into Atlanta thinking, okay, we get one more game, 2 games,
Mhm.
we'll make the playoffs. Okay, cool. We got a tough sled, but let's do it.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, you don't get the result at home. And then
Yeah.
all of a sudden, guess what? Last 3 games,
Yeah.
your front three don't show up.
Right.
There's a problem there. Uwagazdag and Baripo don't show up and don't score. And hey, you're not going to win games. That's what I said the last
Mhm.
episode. You need to win games. Those guys need to contribute. When they do, the
Oh my
unit
gosh, yeah.
win. I
Mhm.
mean, Andre, for the most part, did his job. Defense didn't do him any favors. Set pieces in Columbus didn't do him any favors. So you look at this and you got some young players that might be sold. There's a lot of things, and I think the only way you gotta move forward is you gotta shake things up. And we're already seeing people on
Mhm.
social media saying, "Oh, I want this person back. I want this person back." I don't want this person back. And hey, everybody's got their own opinions.
Mhm.
We'll talk about ours,
Mhm.
but I mean, at the end of the day, like, will the union be active in the off season? I mean, we don't know.
They better be, if I'm
They're
being
gonna have
honest.
to be.
It needs
We'll
to shake it
see.
up. I mean, honestly, it's like how I felt about the Phillies a few years back. You had that 2008, 2009, those guys that were together for quite a while. They had won a championship, and then then slowly those pieces started to move away, because you had to, like, they had their run by 2011, it was done.
Mhm.
And saying goodbye to guys like, Chase Utley and Ryan Howard and Jimmy Rollins and those guys, like, yeah, it hurts. You have fan favorites and everything, you have all those memories, but there comes a time where you honestly just need to shake it up and
Mhm.
get new energy in there, and, it
Eh,
sucks because you're attached to some of these guys. This is why I don't get jerseys with names on them.
yeah.
Um, I try not to get too attached to certain players, and, it's tough, and, yeah, I have favorite players, and I'm not gonna, like, say so much who they are, but, like, it's just it's tough. Now, I mean, okay, if I'm being honest, Brujo was one of my favorites,
Right.
and he's gone. And so it's tough to get too attached to them, but, like, I don't know, they definitely need some new blood in there because running it back after running it back, we saw how it went, okay?
Now, and you hope they do. We'll see. And it can't be,
Mhm.
they need some talent. They
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 do.
need
I'm
like
not saying they need to go out and get, like, a Messi, but someone who, like,
no, what they need to do is use that U20. I'm gonna say it right now, they got those 3 U22 spots. McConaughey's not
yeah,
cutting it.
take a page out of Miami's book with that. They utilized U22 really
Or other
well.
teams' books, use
Yeah.
some use that. And I think so the U22 is one part,
Mm,
and then get some talent, get some people that can impact games, get some depth that you're not relying on these homegrowns as much, if at anything,
yeah.
off the bench. That you can go your bench earlier
You
with
need a
him.
balance.
They do, and right now I don't feel like they have that. And I think a lot of fans do, and they're gonna argue and yell at the ownership. We'll see. I think I will say this, and I heard this the other day from another guy in media covers another team. and I believe this. I mean, at the end of the day, sports are a business, but if you're an
Yeah.
owner that treats a franchise like a business,
Mhm.
like a real estate investment.
Mhm.
It's funny, we was talking about real estate when Sugarman's a real estate person.
Yeah.
When you treat it like a real estate business, this team's just gonna do okay. You're making money, but they don't do anything. But when you put now you got some of those rich owners that try to be fans and like spend, spend, spend. That doesn't always work
Mhm.
either. But if you want to put some heart and money and muscle into it and throw a couple bucks in there and treat it like a, hey, I want to win, then you can have some success. And the way
Yeah.
league's evolving, you got to. I mean, at this
Yeah.
point, if they don't, my concern is if they keep staying to this path of the academy, which I get. I get that
Mhm.
a little bit. And people are like, "Oh, why you get that?" And I'm like, because that's their vision. But they need to now pivot from that. They need to pivot. I mean, I give them credit for having vision, but that vision needs to change and adapt. So
Yeah.
anyway, I'm done
Yeah.
because I mean at this point we're all everybody out there, and we'd love to hear your thoughts on this. If you want to comment, what do you want to see? Where do
Uh,
the union go from here? What do you want to see? Because I gotta be honest with you, I think there's a lot more questions than there are answers right now, and it's going to be a very long and interesting off season to see what happens.
I would like to see Sugarman take a look at John Middleton.
Mm,
Okay.
that's a good point.
John Middleton gets it with being an owner with the Phillies, you know?
Right.
Um, and yeah, the Phillies came up short this year, but it is what it is. I love how John Middleton, he is interacting with the fans. He is, not afraid to spend some money.
Mhm.
But like he's more of like, all right, yeah, he's more of what you want to see. Okay.
Correct.
So it's a shame we did not get him his effing trophy back as he wanted.
Right.
But yeah, like there's gonna be shakeup with the Phillies moving forward. They're gonna bring in some pieces. I'm gonna be sad when Brandon Marsh goes. He's one of my
Yeah.
favorites. But anyway, but let's
Let's
turn to
let's
Union
talk about something
2.
pleasant for a
Yeah,
change. So
something really
let's
pleasant.
talk about Union 2. So we went down on Sunday again.
Yeah.
Uh
Another great day, another beautiful day.
oh, it was beautiful. And so the Union 2 played NYCFC 2.
Yes, their chosen opponent.
Yep. And that was the largest crowd. What did you say the crowd was?
It was over 2,000. Yeah.
Yeah, it was over 2,000. Um I had more vendors open.
Yeah.
Store was open again.
It was
And
two it was almost 3,000, in fact, it was, and thank you to Nico for getting me the
yeah.
figure, but it was 2,748 people. So, it's the biggest crowd they've had, aside from the Wrexham friendly that they did in the 2023
Right.
season, where they had, like, 15,000 fans for that.
And so, Marlon touched on that a little bit
Mhm,
beginning because the Union came out and it was kind of a little slow start. I thought at times, although I thought they played a little bit better, but Marlon did say they, playing against a crowd that size, they kind of had some nerves. He thought maybe a couple of players did, but they came out and again, I
mhm.
thought they could easily had probably 2 or 3 goals in the first 20
Oh, yeah,
minutes.
absolutely.
They were creating chances left and right. I
They
thought
were.
Cavan looked good. I thought
Yeah.
Frankie Vasquez missed some really good
Mhm.
opportunities. David Vasquez.
He's been really good, like,
Yeah,
honestly,
I think
I've
him and
been
Olney have been
Yeah.
phenomenal in midfield.
Yeah.
Cavan continues for a 15-year-old to show, his dribbling skills.
Yep, he's very good with the dribbling, the passing.
Yeah, I mean, you can see his stuff. He almost had a goal here.
Mhm.
Um, I think the other thing was, Neil Pierre had some great defensive
He
plays.
really did, and Frankie was also
Yeah.
just a workhorse over there, really with some good defensive plays and, setting things up. So,
And Nick Periano, he's been playing back there ever since Sanders and Gabo left.
yeah, Nick
Um,
was aggressive and,
yeah, I mean,
making plays.
and then Andrew Rick had 2 clutch saves. One of them I thought was gonna go and should have gone in the net. Keep it
Yeah.
scoreless at halftime. I mean, Marcus and Eddie were fine.
Yeah, I thought, Marcus he was definitely aggressive. One thing I like about Marcus Anderson is, like, he's aggressive and he will follow up, like, he will,
Mhm.
um follow through on things because, you know, these goalies, if they're gonna spill the ball or something, like, he's on it, you know?
He is, he
So I
is.
appreciate that for him, you know?
Yeah,
Um
and then the second half, the Union had, a couple chances early on. I felt like in the second half, the game,
Mhm,
like the Union, and I said this to Todd. I said, I texted him. I said, I think the Union are the better team, but this is a game. We've seen this as the first team, second
mhm,
game where I could see NYCFC either winning on PKs or getting some weird fluke goal, and that be that.
mhm,
But hey, credit to the Union's defense. There were a couple times, especially late, that Neil Pierre made some great plays. He was cramping up. We asked him about it.
mhm.
Um, and then CJ Only, another late game heroic from him.
Yeah, was
Nice
it about the 86th minute or so, something like that?
86 minute. We saw Andrew Rick running down, did not slip and fall this time.
Yeah. Yeah, but
But
set up really, really nicely by Neil Pierre to CJ, and CJ just roofed that thing. I mean,
yeah, it's a great
that
goal.
was a great goal,
And I didn't see it initially because I was asking about player availability.
and I got a great video of
You
it.
did, you posted it, so it's on there.
It's on Twitter. Follow
But
me at silly under double underscore Jilly. You can
yeah,
see it.
so final whistle. When you see final whistle, you saw the emotion of the players. They came over, were like clapping. When they blew the whistle, you saw Marlon like give like for once like get like all excited and pumped up that yay. Union won their very first as a second team. Not this goes back to Bethlehem Steel, very first home playoff game, not the very first playoff game. USL was different, but yeah, very first home playoff game in second team history, apparently, scoring to Tom up there in the press box. That's cool to see. So, um, overall thoughts on the crowd, though. I thought the crowd would have
Crowd
some
was
good
great. I mean, the Bridge Brigade, of
Bridge
course,
Brigade.
was fantastic. Okay, can
Can
I
we talk about the kazoos?
Okay, first of all, the kazoos were awesome,
Yes.
and also, I wanna say Kyle the baby, doing the horn like, we need more horns at the games.
Shout out to Kyle because yeah,
Yeah,
definitely need some more horns. But the kazoos are
the
great.
kazoos were great. Every time, like, a player from NYC, like, was close to, especially, they were, like, going on the kazoos. I loved it. I
I
loved the
love it.
energy. I just
It was fun.
It was fun, and especially we needed that. It was so cathartic after the misery that was the night before. And that's like I hope that the people that came to that game continue going to these things. And also I hope more people buy into it because it's as I've said before, it's refreshing going
Mhm.
to these. And you know, I think these guys really deserve to have a great crowd. I mean, it's gonna be Saturday at 5 p.m. Okay. Um,
Yeah.
so, people need to get on out there. The tickets are not expensive.
Think I saw why they give them season ticket members $7. I mean, come on.
Yeah, and so what I thought was cool is, of course, the so normally everyone's constrained to, certain sections, kind of behind the team benches, and
Mhm.
down to like 104. I forget where it starts, but like, the side of the stadium where the teams sit. And they actually had more of it open and it was filled pretty decently actually.
It was a good
It
crowd.
really was, and I know there was, like, youth teams there, and we knew a lot of people that were there for the first time for,
Mike Guerrero was there.
yeah, so it was great to see that. They had a lot more concessions open, the team stores open. So, it was a great atmosphere. I hope it's even better for the semifinals and I hope that they keep, pushing through too,
Yeah,
but
we'll see. I
yeah.
mean, I think yeah, I gotta give a shout out to Bridge Brigade and fans that showed up because it was a great atmosphere, especially coming off a very disappointing end of the Union season. But yeah,
Yes.
afterwards we had some great comments from Marlon, and he even said he thought they started out great and it was a good game, and
Mhm.
he's confident, and so the guys, the players, they seem like they're grounded. They know what's ahead. They're not gonna get too excited, but it's cool. Just getting to talk to some of the guys in the locker room after the game. Um, and so today, we found out who their next opponent is. They're gonna play Crown Legacy FC, who upset FC Cincinnati 2
Yeah,
on
they upset the number 1
yeah,
seed.
scored two late unanswered goals, and there's a team that, was fighting going into decision day
Mhm.
and, got in and now are feeling it. So,
Yeah, so they're a hot team, and Um,
They got some good players
they
too. They
do.
got some good players on their first team that they loaned down. They got the, first round pick, their first round pick this year. It was 14th overall.
Mhm.
He had a late goal for them, so they got some players. It's not. I know the Union when they played them in June, in I guess it was
It was in Charlotte, yeah.
yeah, in Charlotte area. It wasn't in where the Charlotte.
But yeah,
Yeah,
the
1-3-0. It's a different team. And I think Marlon kind of talked about on his post game.
on the selection show, yeah, Marlon said that, they've only faced him one time. He they it would have been besides Crown Legacy, the other options were Columbus and Chicago. And
Well, actually, it would just been Columbus.
would have
So
been Columbus. All
it
right.
would have been Columbus. Yes, Nico confirmed that because I asked him on my post. We all thought it would be over three. It's the two lowest seeded teams.
Okay.
So just for anybody out there was like, why didn't they pick Chicago?
Okay. Well,
So yeah, that's why.
well,
But
Columbus, I mean, they faced him like 3 times already or
and
whatever.
Columbus just blew out somebody. So I'm like, okay, they're hot.
So Marlon also wanted to bring, he mentioned, he wants it to be a different team, especially for the fans too.
Yeah.
So I think that's cool because they only played Crown Legacy once and it was away. So, that'll be good. So I really do hope that all the fans really bring it and uh have that same energy, even better energy. I
Absolutely.
know the guys in Bridge Brigade will.
Oh yeah.
And speaking of which, I thought was really cool. I'll mention this. Um, so they were saying the guys on NYCFC too were pretty chill, but like the they give them of course a hard time. They heckle, it's what they
Mhm.
do. And the goalie for NYC, uh Alex Rando, they said they actually, of course, would heckle him and everything, but he's a good sport about it. And they were like, yeah, he's a really nice guy, actually. He actually gave those guys his jersey at the end of the game.
Oh, that's really nice.
Yeah, so that's really cool.
Shout
So,
out to Alex, man. Like that's cool.
yeah. So I thought that was really cool. And so yeah, we'll see what happens. Again, Saturday at 5
Yeah.
p.m. at Subaru Park. Be there, get your
Bring your
tickets.
ass.
Yeah. Oh, swear jar, Kyle.
No,
No,
just
but
challenge. Timberwolves tip off tonight, so bring
that's
some
right.
Anthony Edwards. Bring your
Sixers
ass.
play tomorrow. Yeah, so yeah, people get there and looks like I will be there.
You will be there.
Yeah.
So, you'll be there. I will be kind of finishing up our meet that we have because kind of the game's starting early. We
Yeah,
had to
it,
make
it
decisions. So
yeah, logistically it was kind of
you
challenging.
can't have two coaches and then just leave all the swimmers there.
Yeah, and our swim
So,
meet's like 3 hours away. So I'm
so
gonna be hitting the turnpike and
yep, you'll be
zooming
there.
down.
I'll be watching from the back home, hopefully. So
Yeah.
anyway, just a couple wrap ups here. Reminder, Sons of Ben. Elections are going on, I think, through till tomorrow. But
Yeah.
a lot of people, it's been an interesting year, not only with the first team, but the supporters groups. So a lot of people have differing opinions. So
If you think you can do a good job of
yeah,
that, if you have ideas, then run for it.
here's the time.
Yeah.
Run for it. Put your
Yeah.
hat in there.
I'm not putting my hat in there. I had a few people mention to me,
Oh
no,
yeah, you
and
did.
I'm like, I don't have number one, I don't have time for it.
Number two, you're in media.
Number two, I'm in the media, and I'm not.
Yeah, that's muddling.
Yeah, I don't want to
Yeah,
do
and
that.
then MLS season awards. Union have some.
Yes. So okay, so for goal, okay, so for saver of the year, the union vote's getting a little split because we have two
Yep.
entries on there. So I mean, on one hand, it's impressive that there's two nominees for save of the year, but Andre, of course, made really good save. I forget which game that was from, but um, he makes so many great saves like
Mhm.
that. And then Andrew Rick, okay, the save that we all know,
Yep.
okay,
I know who
from
you're
the
talking about, though.
NYC, yeah, yeah. So the one that made Sports Center, number two. My pick. I mean, I love Andre to death, and his saves are freaking fantastic. But I gotta give it to Andrew Rick on that.
Oh, for sure.
What a save when he, like, had that reach back and oh my goodness. So that was incredible. Also for goal of the year, we set it back when was it May or whatever the game
Yeah.
was? Jack McGlynn, okay?
Jack McGlynn's goal was
When
amazing.
it happened, we're like, "That is, like that's incredible. That's, like, goal of the year right there." And, I'm being a homer, I don't care, but I think Jack's goal is the best of them, and there's been so many good goals. I like that Messi was not on the
Yeah,
choices. Because that would've yeah. Anyway, but what a goal. That the way it just hooked in there and oh my goodness, what skill. So,
yeah, get out there
yep,
and vote.
vote and you don't have to sign up for anything, just get on there and vote. So,
So, and finally, we're not going anywhere. We'll be back with some interviews with fans, maybe some other people in the media coming up. We also going to be having our what if episode. We're going to be having our
mhm,
season end prediction, and we got some fun stuff coming up in the off season. Obviously, we also have um.
and do some guests on the show and all kinds of
I
different
got
stuff
the
going.
yawns again.
And then before you know
We'll
it,
be kicking right back into the season. So,
mhm.
I think for all of us, maybe as much as it stinks and it's disappointing, it's nice to have maybe a little longer because we've been going at it for so long.
Yeah, I always do miss seeing all of our friends and having that
Yeah,
game
I
day
do too.
experience and everything when we're in the off season. But
But
mm,
finally, we just want to say thank you, guys, all if you're listening. Um, thank you so much for
yeah.
reading, supporting Jillian, supporting all of our content, and sharing our content with others if you are, and just know it means a lot
It
to
really
us.
does.
Um, we do it if one person listened, but
Mhm.
it's really cool to see some of the things. So stay on the tune, but just know, hey, if you ever see us, just come up and talk to us. Like we like to talk to
Yeah.
people. And yeah, thank you guys again for all your support. And we'll be back at probably sooner rather than later with a new episode.
Yeah.
But
Well,
for
we'll have things to comment with Union too, depending on how
Yep.
things go,
We'll have
especially.
stuff up. I'll be hopefully, fingers crossed, be down there Friday, for
Yeah.
practice before the game on Saturday. But until next time, it's been an all new episode of the One Team We Agree On.
Yeah. Make sure to like and subscribe and follow us on our various social medias and everything. And yeah, leave us comments because we love hearing from you. And you can find us on all your major podcasting platforms as well. So again, thanks for listening. We do really appreciate everything that all the interactions and everything that we've had this year. It's been fantastic. So, but yeah, spread the word too. So if you like what you're listening to, share it out there. We appreciate it.
And until next time, I'm Kyle.
I'm Jillian.
We'll see you at the game.